Hello and welcome to the Experiencing Love podcast. I'm your host, Philip Jocks, and I'm so glad that you're here. I don't have much today because it felt like I haven't done much today. Going into this week, I had some plans, and after waking up this morning, I realized I was much more tired, much more drained from yesterday than I realized. Yesterday was a great day with family, with friends, and with overcoming some limiting beliefs of mine. And it took a toll on my body and my mind. I ended up sleeping for 11, 12 hours maybe, which came as a huge surprise to me when I was waking up in the morning. And I accepted it. I accepted it as something that my body needed, and I caught up on the sleep that I was missing. I don't know, I don't have much to speak about right now, and it feels a little forced to make stuff up on this spot, but I guess I could just be honest and say what's really on my mind. What's really on my mind is that I'm feeling a little disappointed today. I'm feeling a little disappointed, a little discouraged, and that partly has to do with me and my actions and how I feel like I didn't live up to my full potential today. I know I literally just said that I was feeling drained from yesterday and I slept so much. And I believe that to be true, while at the same time being disappointed that I didn't push through it. I struggle walking this line between rest and work. And it's this line where I know I need rest and I know I need to work. And I know that if I lean too far to one side, I feel off and I feel pretty bad. There have been many a times in my life where I overworked myself, completely burnt myself out, and it took me weeks to get back into the swing of things. And then there have been times that I've rested too much, in the sense that I was using rest to avoid something subconsciously. And I would feel bad then too, because I wouldn't be making progress. I wouldn't be moving forward. And I used to swing back and forth between these two sides over the course of weeks, where I'd have a couple weeks of working super hard and then the burnout would have me resting for a while. I got better and I started prioritizing rest more often so that I wouldn't get knocked out for weeks at a time. And it's because I take those rests that I have a more consistent level of energy every day, every week. And having that consistent level of energy has tricked my mind into thinking that I should always be working until my energy drops. Or said a little differently, because I have some level of energy today, I should have spent it on working. And where I struggle is I don't know when that voice is right or not. Like right now, in hindsight, I do see that I maybe could have worked. I could have pushed through it, and maybe just starting would have given me that momentum that I needed. But that's hindsight, and I can't do anything to change the past. And so now I just need to take a moment and give myself grace for the decisions of my past, because I don't want to feel bad anymore. I think I've been feeling bad for the past few hours, and it's partly regret, partly guilt, partly shame, and there's no need for that. All there is to do is choose something different right now and decide what my plan will be the next time this happens. And by this, I mean that moment before I make the decision to either rest or work. I am getting better at this. I am getting better because where I used to make these types of decisions, it would take me weeks or even months to get through them. And now they happen in a course of days or hours. I don't sit in the pity for too long. This one happened in a matter of a few hours, even minutes, because I haven't really thought about it since starting this recording. I also have to understand that not every day is going to be an incredible episode. I don't think this episode's going to be one of the greats. I've had much better episodes, or better said, I have episodes that I enjoyed making more. And days like this happen. They happen, and I can work on making them happen less. And I know that perfection is far outside the realm of reality. So I'm not going to even try to be perfect. I could only try to be better. Grace is an interesting thing because it's important to give and get grace for our mistakes, but we don't want grace to become a crutch to allow us to make mistakes when we know we're about to make one. It's that whole idea of building habits, and if you do something once, it's a slip up, it's a mistake, but if you do something twice in a row, well, it's the start of a new habit. I believe I sometimes do that with giving myself grace, in that I make a mistake and I give myself that space to say it's all right. Because I've done it once, I end up doing it again because I know it'll be all right. That's another part of walking this fine line between work and rest. Maybe that has to do with me not having or using a way to motivate myself that isn't guilt or shame. I sort of grew up on that. Maybe it was taught very early on, but became my way, anyways, of teaching myself what to do and what not to do. When I finally began to unwind that habit, to stop shaming and guilting myself, well, I replaced it with grace, and I just don't want that grace to allow laziness. But now when I say that out loud, I realize that even when I was using shame and guilt as a motivator, as a fuel source, there were days that I still felt lazy. It has nothing to do with me using grace, because I used to do it before I really gave myself that grace. Maybe I'm just now more aware of it, or what's more likely is that there's still a piece of the equation that I'm missing, which when I say that and I start to think about it, I get a little bit excited because that's something else to explore, something else to learn. And I love to learn. I love to grow. I'm learning what works for me. I'm learning what I love to do. I'm learning how I love to be communicated with and motivated and pushed forward. I'm learning what I like to do in private, alone, when I don't have a team working with me. And that'll just make me a better leader, a better team member, a better partner. I'm learning to ask myself the questions now so that when I have people around me to work with me, there's less blame on my part and more understanding, more asking questions. I do love how I never know where these episodes are going to go. When I describe this podcast to the people in my life, I often say that this is my journal. It's my diary. Just instead of writing something down, it's recorded, it's edited, and then it's shared with the world. It's put out there. It's like a blog. I just sparked an idea. What if I just made this into a blog? That'd be pretty cool. I'm gonna think on that. While I do that, I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. It is a beautiful day, and there's always something to admire and some way to give grace. Remember to always fill up with the love, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. I love you.